Hello everyone, it's Charlton, and I want to update you on the manhunt for the person suspected of killing the officer in Newman, California. The officer's name was Ranil Singh. His picture is, darn it, right there. And actually this is audio, because initially the radio traffic indicated they had suspected he was kidnapped. I'm not sure if that was just a mistake or what, but initially I think it was communicated through radio that he was in the truck, the silver Dodge truck. I forget the make of the truck that was was driven by the person who's suspected of doing this. There's several photos of the man who the manhunt for the person. That's him right there over the Facebook page of the Stanislaus County. It's right here. This is probably the best picture of him. But also these are pictures that they've pulled from social media that are circulating for him, and they confirm that that is the individual. And in fact, in this note to everybody, it says the following photographs of the suspect, which include his name and birth date, have been circulating on social media. We can confirm that these photographs of the man who murdered Corporal Ranil Singh. We cannot, however, confirm that the correct name or birth date is being put out. So they confirm that that's the individual that's suspected of killing the officer, but they they don't have his name here, but supposedly his name is circulating on social media. I believe they do have his name by now, though. I think this post is a little bit outdated. It's probably from yesterday. Excuse me. No, it's only from 39 minutes ago. But they do have his identity because it's now known that he's in the country illegally. In fact, at the press conference today, the sheriff of Newman, or the chief of police of Newman, I don't recall. He goes over the fact that he's here illegally, and he actually compares him to the officer who immigrated to this country, I want to say from Fiji, legally, and that it was always his dream to become a police officer and so forth. And he was crying during the press conference. He was absolutely, he was pretty much a wreck. But this person's, it's known he's here illegally, so. Yeah, obviously that's going to become an issue, and the politics behind that is going to come up without a doubt. So, and he was being pulled over. I think he was suspected of driving under the influence. I think that's the reason the officer pulled him over. Maybe he was weaving or something like that. In fact, the most recent photos of him, from like surveillance footage, looks like he was at the convenience store picking up beer. I'm assuming that's right before he was pulled over. And I think that's a pretty safe assumption. So, the manhunt continues. They still believe he's in the country. He hasn't fled to, I guess back to Mexico, or we don't know his native country. But he is still in the country. It's according to this report. And I'm telling you, you're going to hear more about this, and because I have here's a picture of the officer with his family, his wife, and his 5-month-old baby. Jeez. But here's the article where it says, and actually it says he's from this town, so he lives in this town, at least according to this. According to the sheriff's department, they believe that. Sheriff's department believes that the suspect is somewhere in Stanislaus County. We're pretty sure this suspect is from this town. He may still be here, the sheriff's department said. Officials said Singh called in a traffic stop at Merced Street. Moments later, he called out shots fired over the radio. Multiple officers responded and found that Singh had been shot. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. So, but they say he's from this town. Just to give you some other, I know they've located his vehicle a day later after the incident. The suspect drove away from the scene in a gray extended cab Dodge Ram pickup before responding officers arrived. The truck was found at 3:15 3:15 p.m. on the 26,000 block of River Road just outside Newman, the sheriff's department said. The detectives were serving a search warrant at a mobile home park, which is about 4.5 miles from the scene of the traffic stop, when they found the truck in a garage. Officials were led to the scene thanks to a tip. The truck was towed and will continue to be processed for evidence. That's the truck right there, and again, that's the person. So the suspect purchased 2 12-packs of beer along with a pack of cigarettes, according to the convenience store where his picture was captured on surveillance tape. So that is the convenience store where he was, and he was buying beer. He's being pulled over for suspected driving under the influence. So, but I was just looking. I was looking up the sanctuary city policy to see if Newman was a sanctuary city, and actually, I mean, it's such a small little town. I don't even know if it would qualify for that sort of thing. But California passed the sanctuary state law. I think earlier in the year, around July. At least that's when this article was written. I think this person is actually criticizing the law, saying it's not firm enough, basically defending immigrants, and that it has loopholes in it that allow the authorities to still hand people over to immigration enforcement. So, but that's just this article is criticizing it. But if there is a law, a sanctuary law for the whole state, it just, again, not to belabor the point, it'd shock me if this person wasn't in police custody at some point. I mean, somebody who has allegedly gunned down a police officer and was just originally being pulled over for a DUI stop, a traffic stop. It would shock me if this person was not in police custody at some point, maybe even within this town at Newman, but because of the state policy, state law, sanctuary city policy, sanctuary state law, he was released. And I don't know that for a fact, but it would shock me if this dude was never in police custody before. It would stun me a lot. All right, but we'll hear more about this. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. And that is the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, pretty please. And I will see you in the next video. Later, man.